Hi, my name is Jeff Plunkett. I'm a licensed professional counselor in Oklahoma and a PhD candidate in the field of social psychology. More importantly, I am very passionate about helping people. That is why I counsel, teach, train. I study more hours each week than some people sleep. Well, maybe not more than teenagers in the summer, but you know what I mean. That is why I'm making a series of videos about social psychology and its application to the work we do as counselors and coaches. Now, I'm not trying to sell social psychology. I'm not trying to get you to sign up for something on social psychology. I just find it very useful for me as a counselor, and I want to pass on some things that I've learned, some things that I've gained in my study of social psychology, because I think it'll help you. I just want to be a help. Starting this Friday and hopefully every Friday to follow, I plan to do a short teaching video, except for the Fridays that I am teaching a CEU class. But otherwise, each Friday. If you want to hear my voice and see my face on the days that I'm doing a CEU class, you'll just have to sign up for my class. You're welcome to attend if you're available. I am, by the way, an approved CEU provider for LPC and LMFT in Oklahoma. So, what is social psychology? Now, this may sound really strange to you, and it sounds strange to me, but I was in my first week of doctoral level classes before I actually looked up what social psychology was. Now, my PhD work is in social psychology, but I didn't know what it was. I enrolled because I deeply resonated with the description of the program and its priorities, but I couldn't really define it. I just knew that what I had observed as a professional counselor for several years seemed to fit very well with this program. And I was right. I seldom am right, but this time I kind of blindly threw the dart and hit a bullseye. And it worked, and it's very helpful to my work. So what is it, and what does it have to do with counseling people? Although an insufficient definition, social psychology is the study of people with people. Now, I know my colleagues in class would say that's just insufficient, but it'll do. I could ask a silly question here and say, do you have any clients that are never with other people? Well, obviously that's not possible. Even if you're the only person they see, which is unlikely, they're at least with you. There are three basic areas, by the way, of content in social psychology. And as you hear them, think about them and think, do you think that your work with clients could be improved with a more complete understanding of these areas of study? Because that's really the reason why I'm doing these videos for you. I just want to be a help. So one of the areas of study is intragroup, and intergroup process. Now, intra meaning within the group, and intergroup meaning between groups. Now, this is how groups motivate, how they activate, meaning create action, produce conformity and beliefs, establish rules of inclusion and exclusion. And by the way, there's always rules of inclusion and exclusion. Some people don't like it when I say that, but it's always the truth, and much more. A group may be a class, it might be friends, family, an organization, a club, a profession like counselors or coaches, and countless other collections of people with a shared identity or centralizing concept. Now, aren't many of the challenges our clients face heavily coded with stories of interpersonal challenges, confusing interpersonal challenges? They don't understand. I don't understand why this person did this to me. I don't understand why these people are rejecting me. I don't understand how to get included. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand what to do. I don't understand how to be in this relationship with this person, these people, etc. So you can see how it would serve well with understanding how all these mechanisms work. Second area of study in social psychology is attitudes, opinions, and beliefs. Now this one, I'm just going to give you some of the questions that I ask because you already know how this one fits. How are these formed? How are attitudes, opinions, and beliefs formed? How are they changed? How are they maintained? Why are they either changed or maintained? How are they clustered together? How do they influence behavior? These are all questions of social psychology. Social perception and self-perception, or as I call interpersonal perception and intrapersonal within my self-perception. This area of study explores the processes, biases, assumptions. There's always assumptions, by the way, and other social cognitions that influence how we interact with one another and with ourselves. Now, some have suggested that social psychology is the foundational science upon which all our work as counselors, coaches, and life transforming professionals is built and stabilized. Now, I can tell you that for me, studying social psychology has exponentially helped me help people with much more confidence. The best part of social psychology, and the reason I'm going to be creating these short pieces of training and my 3-hour CEUs, is because you do not need to change from the counseling or coaching modality that you are currently using. Social psychology helps to make sense of the mechanisms and systems of human behavior, change, and resistance that are a daily part of our work with people. So you don't need to change what you're doing. I'm just trying to boost it, trying to give it some nos, if you will. I always say, if I am only given the steps to complete a task, I can only follow the steps for the task. But if I understand how the system works, I can modify the steps on the spot to make it more effective. It's kind of like a car. I know how to start it. I know how to put gas in it. I know how to drive it. I know how to swerve away from drivers who are texting, and maybe a few other things, but I don't know how to fix it. And if everything's going well, I'm okay. If it doesn't go well, if something happens, then I'm subject to maybe a mechanic. But that's not possible whenever I'm in a counseling session or I'm dealing with something that I don't understand with my client about how things function. And then so what do? I just rest upon what I know. And I want to know, that's why I want to know more. I want to understand more. Again, that's why I'm passing on some of that information to you. I couldn't pass it all on. You wouldn't have time for that. But the reality is, sometimes things happen to cars, to computers that I don't understand, and to people. And people are much more valuable. They're infinitely valuable, and I want to know how to help them better. I want to help you understand the mechanics of the infinitely valuable people with whom you work. Now, you can follow my Facebook page if you want to, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to my email list, and I'll send you some notes from these little short trainings, some references for my presentations. I can let you know about other opportunities to learn more. Again, I just want to be a help and some much needed encouragement. If you're like me, you need encouragement from time to time as you work through the honor of being invited into the private and challenging lives of precious people. So thank you. I look forward to investing in you and your work with people. I will not pretend to know everything, and because that's ridiculous. I couldn't know everything. I would forget. I've already forgotten most of what I know anyway or ever knew. But even if I did know everything, you wouldn't have time to listen to me drone on about it anyway. So I just want to give you a few things that I think are very helpful for me to understand as I work with my clients. I'm not trying to promote social psychology. If you sign up for some social psychology class or program, that's on you. I'm not trying to get you to do that. I'm not trying to get you to read social psychology books. I just find it very useful for my practice, and I want to help you. It doesn't need to. So social psychology doesn't need my help to promote it. It's doing fine. I just want you to be served by social psychology and what I've learned. You, my friends and colleagues, are infinitely valuable. Don't forget that, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you for the honor of investing in you today. Thank you.